Hello, this is Rock Lotus from the guild Myth Inc. in Eridar, and I'll be bringing a commentary on Maloriak. He has 3 phases. He's a red potion phase, which I've drilled into our raiders group up, a blue potion phase, which I've told our raiders spread out, and a green potion phase, which is just AoE the ads. It's very simple if you break it down, especially for our raid, since our raiders seem to be very forgetful of everything. He also has 2 abilities, Release Aberrations and Arcane Storm. We usually have one person only interrupt the Arcane Storm, and I personally interrupt the Release Aberrations, only because of timing. You usually want 9 ads, which is 3 aberration releases, every red, blue, and green phase. So usually you have to, and then you want to interrupt release aberrations every single time on the green phase. So for this release aberration that's coming up, I usually interrupt the first one, and then I'll let 3 of those aberration releases go out, and then I'll interrupt everything until it recycles back to at the end of the green phase. So, and he also pops a remedy potion on himself. Mages can spell steal it, or Ampere, who's supremely fast, he'll just purge it. It's not a real big issue, but you definitely want to make sure that the 2 things are one person consistently interrupts that Arcane Storm, and one person is interrupting release aberrations to the point where you only have 9, because you need 9 for every 3 phases. So here's a blue vial right here. Everybody spreads out. He puts on a debuff on someone, and he'll freeze one other person. Those freezes have very low health, so usually one ranged DPS can just knock it out real quick. And as you can see, here comes aberrations right now. They do tend to beat on the off tank a bit. We do put slowing traps, as you can see, just so it helps the off tank from not getting beat down too much. I let another one go, and now we have it says 9 aberrations remaining. So I should interrupt every single one after this, and it's very important as well to interrupt every single one during this green vial phase, because you do not want extra aberrations in the raid, because people pull aggro during the AoE phase and it's a headache. So the green vial potion, everything takes extra damage, which is the only way to kill these aberrations. As you can see, we're interrupting. It's really nice. They have timers, deadly boss mods. You can check specifically if you want deadly boss mods to make a certain interrupt noise for individual abilities. So Ampere has that noise check for the Arcane Storm, and I have that noise check, as you can see across the screen, for aberrations. And then other than that, it's just simple tank and spank. As long as you divide the tasks individually, and especially for our raids you have to do this, because the easiest ones are always the most difficult fights for us at some point. So, and as you can see, you have the red vial here. I'll go over the red vial again. You want to group up because you share that AoE damage he spews out. You also want to make sure whoever has that debuff has to run off to the side or they'll die. So Pentalo, our Resto Shaman, has that debuff right now. As you can see on my right, he's running away so he doesn't get hit by that cone. And after that debuff fades, he can just run back. Other than that, and Hanasaku right now has a debuff, and he has to run off to the side, and then share the damage, and then run back. And then again, you also want to make sure that it's usually I only have to interrupt the first aberration. Again, whoever's controlling these release aberrations, interrupt the first one, and then let 3 go by, because each time he releases one is 3 aberrations, because you need 9 every 3 phases, and then interrupt every single one after that until the next phase. And it should be a total of 18. So as long as you have one person controlling the aberration timer, and then another person controlling Arcane Storm, this fight becomes very easy. So, and as you can see, we have actually had more DPS than we need. So, and we're still in the blue phase. So we just stopped DPSing and we're just chilling out and just waiting. There's no point in killing those aberrations now, because it's 90% damage reduction until green vial phase, which is now. So you want to make sure you have at least a good healthy chunk. It's 30%, he enrages at 25, so that's what you need to do. And then in the phase 2, when he enrages at 25%, You also want to make sure that there's 2 ads come, have your off tank pick up 1 ad, and I usually tricks the second ad, or a hunter will tricks to the off tank. If you don't do it quick enough, they tend to fixate on a random raid member, and it's a bitch to get those 2 ads off. So, you know, you waste a little DPS tricksing those 2 ads to your off tank, but it's just helpful. Here's 1 ad, prime subject. I'm tricksing our off tank Coma, making sure he has those initial aggro so they don't fixate randomly on 1 mob. And now it's the burn phase, which is generally good to pop heroism. He puts down some fire sometimes, don't stand in it, obviously. There's also blue crystal balls that float in the air. After a couple seconds, they fall down. If you're near it, you get thrown back. Obviously, don't stand near any, right there, right in the bottom of my screen, don't stand near that blue crystal ball. And other than that, this is the easiest boss, as long as you denote tasks. I would really give those tasks of interrupting to people who are reliable. Obviously, I consider myself reliable to measure out the aberrations, to make sure there's only 9 every 3 potion phases, and have somebody else interrupt the Arcane Storm every single time it comes up. Deadly Boss Mods helps out, it's very easy, and have somebody else spell steal or purge the potion. So good luck in Maloriak, and I hope this video helped.